Another day, another intro where he has to start off with a picture on his phone.
Listen, guys. I've known this man for over a decade, and I've never seen him that happy.
I'm trying to remember where that was at. Oh yeah, that was. I think that was at dinner.
So, who are you lying to? And where is this photo taken? And quite frankly, what were you eating?
Trying to remember where that picture was taken. I think I might have it. Well, so I don't have to go through my whole camera roll. We're gonna say that was at El Paso, and let's just say they put extra cheese and extra
Yep.
queso on my chimichanga. So
Yep. And what are you wearing in that? What are you wearing? A collared shirt?
it was just a black long sleeve.
In case you guys don't know, Ann only owns like one or two collared shirts. The same black one from Old Navy that he always wears.
You have this. You have that one.
Yeah, I do, but I don't ever wear it.
Yeah, you don't wear it. It's actually my favorite one, and actually I have more, but it just depends which ones I like. But I'm not like Z where I just go out on a casual day dressing up like I just got off the golf course.
There's nothing wrong with it, then.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You're a poser, Z. You're a poser.
Why don't you have some respect for yourself?
Yeah. I don't need to wear a Nike golf hat. I don't need to wear freaking golf T-shirt when you don't even golf.
Well, notice I'm not wearing a hat right now. Things are a little bit different today.
Yeah, why don't you just bend the head forward a little bit?
I'm not doing anything. Well, anyways, today is June 6th.
Thank God.
Yep. Thank God. Again, guys, I came here last time and it was happy on a day.
I couldn't really tell you. Honestly, I'll be pretty. See, I'm trying to take it. I'm really just trying to take advantage of it because we're kind of in the heart of summer right now, and college football comes out in
A few weeks.
no. College it comes out July 18th, I think,
Oh, yeah. Like a
or the
month.
16th or something. So I'm kind of in a spot of where I'm trying to kind of take it all in the best that I can because we have a stretch coming up of college football. We have a stretch coming up of where 4th of July is going to be around the corner, and that's going to take us into training camp for football, and we can get football underway, and Florida, and so I'm trying to kind of keep it all in mind, Z, to keep my happiness going.
Sure. Well, and you have to appreciate every day that's given to you.
You do.
Yep. Just remember you're loved. Well, anyways, so yeah, today's Thursday, the 6th. The finals start tonight. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Who's watching that?
Z, thoughts on the name Silver got on X, Adolf?
No comment. No comment on that.
Yep.
No, not gonna go one bit in that conversation. But Ed and I were gonna talk really a couple different sport topics in this one. We were gonna talk about the release of the NCAA that Ed just brought up, which is huge. We're not talking about COD today. We don't care about COD right now. And
Yep.
then obviously the NBA finals starting tonight. I don't think we really like to break down the finals too much. You guys already know who's in there. It's the Mavs versus Celtics. But I mean, really 8:30 start time.
Z, game's gonna end probably after 11.
God. I mean, and the fact that I'll be getting off, the fact that I'll be getting off tonight at 11 and the game is still going on.
Well,
Well, anyways, in case you guys, haven't been keeping up the NBA playoffs, yes, it's the Dallas Mavericks versus Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. I picked the Celtics to go to the finals in the East. I picked them to win the finals. I know they're the number one seed. It's kind of a pretty simple pick, but I've always said all season, and I think it's really going to be their time. So here we are, game one. And what are you expecting? I know you don't want to fully break it down, but I mean, really, just who do you have winning this?
Well, looking at the finals, I'm not really going to recap my thoughts in the terms of why I think that, for the most part, this has kind of been more of the one of the more successful NBA playoff years for the NBA in recent memory. But
Yes.
really, what it comes down to is when you look at both these teams, it's homegrown talent, and I appreciate that. And I think that's what the NBA has been missing for years. Has been teams that have just building. And like, yes, there's been some teams that have trying to do that, but can't really get to that point. They've been trying to do that for a while. But when we look at the teams that are usually always on top in terms of recent years, not too much is it drafted development or developed type guys that are coming out of their organization. A lot of
Mhm.
it, they're led by these key hot type free agents. And we look at the finals, we look at the playoffs throughout the year this year. The playoffs was really run by young talent, upcoming talent, guys that the NBA wants to kind of start to be the focal point of their league, and that's where we're at with the finals right now. Is we have two teams in the Celtics who have been there uh, to the Eastern Conference Finals multiple times in recent years. Hasn't been able to get over the hump, but for the most part, those years that they've been trying to make a push, it's kind of been their own talent for the most part. You look at Dallas Mavericks this year, outside of Kyrie Irving, it's their own talent. They have a lot of role guys that are bought in terms of these role players that they have, and it's good to see. It's refreshing, so I appreciate that. I think that's the direction the NBA needs to head toward. I think
Mhm.
that's something that a lot of NBA teams need to look
Not the
at.
Suns.
Yep, yep. Not the Suns, not the old days of stacking your teams, right? Not the Lakers, not the Clippers. No, 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 no. As you can see, none of that ever works out.
No.
But to be quite frank, I appreciate that the NBA playoffs has kind of been this way for the most part. I appreciate that even the finals at this rate is kind of like that. And I think that a lot of teams that are trying to figure it out, or even some teams that have been investing a lot of money in free agency, need to kind of take a deep look at what was working for all these teams in the playoffs this year. And I think that kind of needs to be a direction of the league. For the finals, with that being said, I'm going to pick the Boston Celtics. They were my pick, just like with Z. Um, when the playoffs started, I picked them in Denver, and for Boston to win. Um, but honestly, I really don't care who wins either way because I think both teams. I think if either team won, I think you'd look at it and say, yeah, like it's deserved. Sure, Boston's kind of had a easy path. We can all maybe call it a Mickey Mouse run if we want to do that. But
100%.
but
100%.
but Boston, yeah, you at the same time in these last few years, they've it's like they've gotten so close and they weren't able to pull it off. So this year they did get there. I think it would be cool to see Luca get win it because I appreciate his game. But overall, we'll see. Hopefully, it's a good finals. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take the Celtics in 6. Z.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, while you were saying that, I was trying to find a picture of Mickey
Yeah, yeah. Trying to find a picture, Mickey.
where we wouldn't get copyrighted.
Yeah. Z, would you say the biggest Mickey Mouse run of all time is the Dodgers World Series?
What the 2020 year or whatever?
Yeah, the COVID year.
And it's got to be.
I'd say right behind them is the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all the LA teams. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, don't care what you guys say. I mean, it's been an absolute freaking Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
Yep.
Mickey's Runaway Railroad. Uh,
Awful ride. Awful
yeah, it
ride.
really is. It really is.
Awful ride.
I mean, if
Yeah.
anybody likes that ride, then
I was Jason and I waited in line for about over an hour for it, and it was just a waste of time.
So here we go. So yeah, this picture, let alone, really just shows uh the
Well, let's see. You got Jason Tatum there on the right.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Jalen
do.
Brown. Porzingis is in the back. Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Yep. Yep. So there you go.
Uh, Love now Mickey's still alive. I'll never forget that
Uh,
account said that he passed away from COVID.
I'll
So
never forget that. Oh, that was amazing.
that was
All right.
great.
Anyways, moving past that. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you gotta love, and if anybody hates on it, that, we're not seeing LeBron and Curry and Giannis
Yeah.
and AD. But I
Yeah.
mean, if we're not seeing any of those guys in the finals, then major issue with the fan base in the NBA right now, man.
100%.
2020 fans. And
100%.
what do you think? What do you think we're gonna be saying when it's 2030? 2030 fans?
God.
Yeah.
We might be saying it's just the typical 20 and 30 fans.
Right.
I think maybe that, but it's honestly kind of scary to think about.
So I was able to pull up a little bit of like a highlight clip for you guys, so you guys can maybe kind of watch it as we're kind of talking about.
When teams go up in the
shit. Sorry. Um, so these are some like the better. It says NBA tweeted the best plays of the playoffs
finals Tuesday.
during seems like every single round. So we'll keep this on while we're talking about the finals. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to break down too much of it. I mean, I love this. I love the Mavs and what their organization has built and how they take care of their players and their ownership and everything.
Right.
But I mean, again, it's Boston's year. It's
Yeah, I think it
Boston's year.
is. It's just they've just been so close, and it's got to pay off eventually.
Yeah, I mean, again, other than on the Mavs, and I say this every single time. Of course, you need to mix in some veterans and
Right.
some superstar players to mix in with your lineup, but your whole lineup can't be that.
Yeah.
And that's what the Mavs have done with bringing in Kyrie and PJ Washington. That's what the Celtics have done with bringing in Drew Holiday and even Porzingis. So you just got to show credit to those teams because they brought in the appropriate type of players that will fit their system.
Yeah, and it's not like Drew and Porzingis are like these all-star type players. Like they're known players. They're quality. They're high caliber. But they're not like these max contract type guys. And
even though Drew just got a max contract.
Well, he did, which was ridiculous. But we know Drew Holiday is not a top 5 point guard in the NBA.
Right.
But to say the least, or really in terms of that type of conversation, is when you have a team like the Celtics who have developed a lot of their own talent and find themselves adding a Porzingis or adding a Drew or somebody like that. They're not adding guys that are on the same level of Jason Tatum.
Yep.
They're adding guys that, yes, at least from what they think makes sense.
And there goes B going down.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
old news. He's becoming old news very quickly.
Yeah, he really is, and he really is.
But yeah, really to say the least, like it's fine if teams want to build their team in the way of sure, like you got to spend a little money, you got to add some vet guys, you got to add some quality guys, but it's just really what Z and I try to really stretch home is that when you have guys on your team that are already stars, it never works out and is one of the worst things that you could do to continue to add max contract guys to your team. You need to develop your own talent. You also need to bring in a little bit of guys, some guys that are quality, whether it's bench guys, role players, or another guy you can plug in your lineup. But you're not, you can't be adding max guy after max guy after max guy. It's awful.
Right. Well, the thing is that the NBA fan base, NBA management and ownership, nobody preaches patience.
No.
Nobody does. Like,
No.
like how many, like, honestly, how many coaches and managers in the NFL will, like, when you draft like a quarterback super high, and if he doesn't succeed the first year, if this is the NBA, he's out the window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, we have to draft. We have to get a new star now.
Yeah.
It's like preach some patience. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, some of these players come right onto the scene, but I mean, you look at guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Yeah, they were successful their first couple years, but now 7-8 years in their career, now they're better than ever.
Yeah,
and this is going to continue. I mean, Steph Curry's the same thing. Like, really, when did he get going? When did he win his first finals? So
2015, he was drafted in 09.
Yeah. So I mean, nobody preaches patience anymore. It's not a thing. So yeah, I mean, outside of us obviously getting off topic about not building a team the way the Suns do, bless you. Whatever that was.
How'd it come out, ladies and gentlemen? How'd it come out?
Yep. Something else came out today.
Not for me, but for Z.
Okay, yep. I mean, and there's I respect both teams in the finals. I wouldn't be mad on who would lose or who would win. And if I'm going to pick a winner, obviously I'm going to pick with who I've gone with this whole time.
Right.
But I mean, this picture, let alone, is really just kind of a great kind of end to this conversation of Ed and I putting our predictions. These two guys are the face of their franchise, drafted and developed, and it's a beautiful thing to see because they get their max contracts, and then they're a player that they can build around.
Yeah.
Not the Suns with Booker and then bringing in Beal and Durant and Grayson Allen and Nurkic. No, awful.
LeBron.
Yeah, and LeBron. Not gonna talk about that right now.
That's a whole nother conversation for another day.
So, and I'm gonna say the Celtics win it. I'm gonna say the Celtics win it in. I'm gonna say 6.
All right, so we have the same prediction here.
I'm gonna say Celtics win 6.
Well, yeah, it's good for the NBA, and we'll kind of really end on this because Z and I did multiple videos each round at a time in the NBA playoffs this year, and in terms of just the NBA, this is the direction it needs to go. This is the direction it needs to go.
Absolutely.
It needs to get back to that 2000s like era where, I mean, you look at the East, you look at the West, all those years, pretty much that whole decade, and unpredictable, competitive basketball. You had so many teams led by one, maybe two guys, and you had some other quality players thrown in there, and just role players. It's the way it needs to go. I don't understand anybody out there that wants to see powerhouse teams anymore, that wants to see super teams anymore. We've seen it. We've been there. We've done that. We've been there. We've done that with the Heat. We've been there, done that with the Cavs. We've been there, done that with the Warriors. We've been there, done that with, I guess, still the Suns now, but like that, they didn't accomplish anything. But still, they're trying to do that. We've been there, done that with the Brooklyn Nets twice, right? We've been there, done that. We don't, and I can probably add in a couple other teams.
Celtics in 08.
Yeah, you can say the Celtics in 08. That they were kind of that first start of that. So you can say the Celtics 2008. It's old, dude. It's old. Lakers, sure, we'll add them into that basket. It's not the way to do things. It's not the way to do things because it rarely ever works, and also it's annoying and it's lame. And I think it brings down the quality of the product. And the same thing goes for the MLB. How many times over the last 10, 15 years have we seen at least a few teams in the MLB try to do that and didn't work out? So it's never the recipe. So hopefully they can find themselves getting back to really kind of somewhat of that old era of what made the NBA good.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and make the transition. Ed and I are both going to pick the Celtics in 6. No take backs. This will be posted, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Let's make our transition to some of the bigger news nowadays, especially for gamers.
Yeah.
Even if nobody is not a gamer, this is something that would bring them back to gaming.
Oh, for sure. Sure. I've already have seen, and I've already God.
Would love to know what this guy's looking at.
Went on Twitter. This doesn't have anything to do with the topic. But but for any Walking Dead fans out there, there's a new chapter that's starting September 29th.
God.
It is the Book of Carol, the Book of Carol. Carol will be having her own spinoff.
God.
Yeah.
And they just need to end it.
Z, they said that the universe is going on forever.
Well, part of me wishes I lived in that universe, Ed.
How long would you give yourself?
And I don't know. I don't think I would get killed by like the walkers or get
Yeah.
eaten by the walkers.
You think
I
you
think,
just end yourself?
yeah, I mean that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
But I would say probably from like either other people that were like trying to shoot us or just dying from like hunger or dehydration or
Something
something.
like that. Yeah.
I I would say I give a good like 5-10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't think
Yeah.
I'd give it that long for myself. I think I would just be ready just to call it. I'd be like, dude, I can't shower. I can't brush my teeth here.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's
Well, I'm
just,
already used to that, so
well, I know you don't do that anyway. So,
yeah, you're right. All right.
all right,
Anyways,
college football 25. Yes, kind of what Z said. We know that there's so much hype around this game from online to there's even a couple people that I know that don't really play and they know people like that are so excited for this game.
yeah.
And it does, we'll kind of break down some of these things. But Z, before we go into detail about this game, we all know how much of a disaster Madden's been for years. Madden's been a disaster for years. We know that. It's for the most part rinse and repeat. They'll add a few small things throughout their game. It's not what it used to be. It's not where it's very similar to the COD franchise, in my opinion.
Right.
It had glory days. It had great times. Um, it's a game that needs to go back to its roots. It's the same thing with Call of Duty, and we all know Madden's a mess. With this game, with everything that came out, and Z and I will kind of go over. I have some things as well bookmarked to kind of pull up. Z and I will go over some of the things here. But there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement when the deep dive 4-minute trailer kind of came out. They went really in depth on a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that it is different than Madden, but also they're promoting it as it's different than Madden. And I hope that's the case. Now, I truly think that college football, who knows what the longevity of this game is, if they're going to bring it out every year, if they're going to do it every couple years. They'll probably do it every year, especially based off of the money they're going to bring in from this game. But it needs to be its own thing. So in terms of the things that are in this game, and as Z and I will go over some of those things, don't bring it over to Madden because then it's not going to be special. It's going to start to feel like Madden, and Madden's going to start to feel like it's just going to feel like one game at that point. They need to keep college football 25. Everything that they're adding into this game and making it this year, college football needs to be its own game. Madden needs to be its own game. When you load up college football, it needs to feel like a whole different experience.
Well, and I'm gonna start off with one single thing here. Look who's making the game.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Look who's making the game.
Exactly.
Now, do we have all the ultimate trust in this organization, in this corporation to make this game? Absolutely not.
Very true, Z. Very true. Now, if this was 2005, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, absolutely not. Now, obviously, EA owns the rights to this game, so they're going to create it. But I will say, Ed and I've said over and over again for years and years and years and years that we wish we had like a fun, good football game to play.
Right.
We had our days of playing NHL, which is by EA.
Right.
We had our days. We still have our days of playing MLB The Show. That's probably the game Ed and I play the most. We still play 2K. And we tried Madden this year. About 10 games went on, and then and completely uninstalled the game. Just so you guys know, the game was 80% off on the PlayStation Store. At the time.
It was. So we paid about $13-14 for it. So it was down the drain. I still should save my money on it, but
well, the thing is, you gave money to EA, and that's all that matters. So
yep.
Anyways, we've been waiting a long time, man, to play a fun football game. I'm not talking about NFL Street. Yeah. I'm not talking about 2K making a game. No.
Whatever happened to that anyway?
I don't know.
You remember that there was rumors that 2K was supposed to make their own version of Madden?
Yeah. I feel like it just
had to fall through.
Yeah, it had to. I mean, I feel like it was kind of like with like MLB 2K, you know?
Yeah.
Like just like nobody really cared for it.
Yeah.
And MLB 2K was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it was good for its time.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll get into it more, but I'm ecstatic to play this game.
Yeah.
And then like this is a game Ed and I'll be streaming.
sure.
This is a game. This is a game, and I'll probably get frustrated on. But really, just outside the gameplay itself, I'm just interested to see really everything else with this game, like
Yeah.
just the detail in reference to like home field advantage
Right.
and how much effort they put into these college stadiums.
Yeah.
And obviously to play as some of these players on different college teams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm excited for it. We have some gameplay we can show you guys that's already been surfaced if you haven't seen it.
Mhm.
But yeah, and obviously I'm excited. I'm not gonna get the deluxe edition. I'm just gonna get
Yeah.
the standard one.
Yeah. Just get the standard one.
Yeah.
You don't want to get that man bundle.
That's awful. Is this the one that comes with the Mad Bundle? This one right here?
No, this is just the regular deluxe edition where you get like certain crap.
Okay.
So that this one's 100. The man bundle is 150.
That's horrendous. Oh god, that's horrendous. $150?
Yeah, so you get college and Madden. Rather, if you get the standard edition of both games, it's 140 combined.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And that's a horrendous deal.
People are gonna be buying it.
Jesus. All right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, NCAA, and I don't know what you kind of have bookmark on your
Yeah.
part, but it's coming out July 18th. We'll kind of let M pull up what he has.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's do.
The thing is, I will say about this game though, like based off the gameplay I watched, which was not a lot. Obviously, they didn't surface too much of it, but I mean, it has like a similar engine to what Madden has. At least that's kind of what it looks like. I mean, sure, they looks like they've implemented like just like a few different things, like based off how players move. Like I've seen animations of like players jumping over defenders.
Right.
Whatever we're looking at here. Okay, so this is what's the thing on the left? What is that?
Okay.
NCAA 06?
Yeah. So this is the game from 2006. On your right is this year's game. So they brought in. Oh crap. Hold on. Okay. Is it up there? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the game, now we know in Madden that they've the last 3 years or so, they've brought into their game a type of thing where it's like a momentum bar at the top of the scoreboard, and if you do X or A, B, and C, it's gonna hit and continue to go up. In this case, they're really trying to emphasize the college atmosphere of the crowd. And depending on where you play, apparently Penn State is the most difficult stadium to play at. And so based off of where you play, as you see here on your right, toughness ranks 16. So that's the 16th toughest stadium to play in. So depending on certain situations in the game, the stadium pulse is going to rise, and it's at least supposed to affect the
So
opponent
hold
in
on.
terms of their execution of what they're trying to do.
So this is yeah. The only thing is like this is something that Madden already has.
Yeah, it is. But it's trying to we'll see how it is when we actually play it. But the thing with Madden is that theirs is more of a momentum bar in terms of the other team gaining momentum, and then you see some of the crazy crap happen on your screen.
Sure.
This is more of an emphasis on the stadium, on more of the crowd, and the crowd affecting the game. So who knows how that's going to play out as, but they had it in their 06 game. They're bringing it back for this game. Got 2006 and 2025. Jeez.
Yep.
But it is a
that's a long
cool
way apart.
Yeah, it is. It is a cool feature. I hope that it's executed well. We'll see really how much it impacts, but Madden is a little similar in the sense where they do try to add a crowd type dynamic. But with this aspect, and we all know how much more of a dynamic college crowds are, I hope that it does get executed well, where as you're playing it, like the crowd is crazy, it's loud, right? And then we'll see really kind of how it affects the way the visiting team plays.
Mm-hmm.
But with that aspect, we'll see how it does. But it is a feature, so I hope it executes well. It's interesting. It's interesting to see that there's different rankings for the toughest places to play.
Yeah, I would say outside of just kind of like what I've seen online and what EA has done with Madden for so many years, outside of like the routes freaking zigzagging left and right.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like pitch some different ideas to like something pre-snap, like other than maybe your offensive lineman jumping, like, maybe like you're doing a fake snap and your offensive lineman jumps. Or like if you're trying to call an audible when that stadium pulses all the way up, maybe you have to like figure out like a little, I don't know, some little freaking puzzle or something to call that audible real quick. But like the play clock is still running down, so you have to click
Yeah.
triangle, square, X, move the analog stick, and then you can call the audible.
Right. Right.
Something that like if this stadium pulses all the way up and outside of your routes freaking swaying left and right,
Yeah.
like something a bit more difficult for, the opposing team for pre-snap.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like if you play, is this a video you're gonna play here?
Yeah, this is a quick glimpse of the stadium pulse
Mhm.
aspect. So
Yep, let it
we'll
run.
let it play out. It says real quick, a big focus for College Football 25 was making different stadiums and atmospheres feel different from each other. Huge difference going into Happy Valley at night versus playing Sam Houston at 1 p.m. So let's take a look at the difference here.
Sure.
Okay, so we see that pulse meter is pretty much as
Yep.
high as it can
You
get.
see the screen shaking a little bit, just kind of like what
Yep,
Madden does.
yep. Now this is the opposing team, of course. There's the
Yeah.
squiggly type routes.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're calling an audible, but you don't know where the receiver is running.
Yeah,
See what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah. See the question mark. So
yeah,
you like, yeah, okay. See that's something I like something
yeah.
pre-snap that if
Right,
you're calling an audible in this kind of noise, the receiver's not going to hear you.
right,
Um,
right.
Now is this all it shows? It doesn't show like the snap
Now
itself.
here's no, that doesn't show the snap. Now here's the one during the day, and you can see the stadium pulse meters are a lot lower
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna play at one of these other ones. So this pulse is lower, and it really just doesn't have too much of an effect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean, I like implementing something like that. I mean, I really do.
Yeah,
Um, and actually, I mean, I found here. If you want, I will. Unless you got something else you're pulling up.
yeah. Hang on. So this is like I don't know, the clap snap count. I know this was kind of in the previous video,
Yeah, that's
but
another thing.
see like they're clapping, like the center's not freaking snapping the damn ball. God, I can't wait to be on that end. Oh my god, I can't wait till like Z's up like 14-7
Yep.
and or something like that, or like 21-7 or something like that. Stadium's going crazy. I'm trying to snap the ball, and the center to snap the ball.
Mythical Jazzy right down below, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Give it a couple months, and you guys will watch it right on there.
yeah. You will.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got on here. I think that might be it in terms of what I bookmarked.
Yeah. I mean, here I'll go ahead and play, um, and I will continue talking about like what we want to see and expect. But
Yeah.
here's this video that shows a good 4 minutes of really
Yeah.
shows kind of a lot of stuff on here. It kind of
Yeah,
shows.
this is that deep dive breakdown. Now, what I will say also, Z, that I'm thankful for is that they're gonna have 5 different commentators in this game,
Yep.
which is great. The scoreboard looks great, and the
Yep.
presentation is supposed to be heavily focused in on
Right.
for this.
So
So
yeah, wear and tear,
wear and
player
tear is the new
abilities,
thing.
home field
Home field
advantage.
advantage. Yeah, so wear and tear is different. Where Madden doesn't have this, it's pretty much where certain players they have. It shows like their whole body, and based off of what's going on in the game and how much they're getting hit, or like if they have like a key injury, as you see there, it's actually going to affect that person's play. So like we've seen in Madden so many times, a player gets hurt or something like that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything. They come back, they're just normal self.
Yeah.
What they're doing in this game is that like if a quarterback gets drilled like right there as they're focusing in on, he comes back with an arm injury, you know, his accuracy is not going to be as good, right? He's not going to be able to push the ball down the field as much. So I do appreciate that they are adding that real type aspect. Yeah, that's gonna be me.
Oh man, it's funny Ed says that because when we play MLB The Show, really, and we got player abilities coming up, so we'll take a look at this real quick. So obviously player abilities. I mean, you can see everything on there.
So
No, I mean, this is gonna be pretty. Yeah, so this is gonna make a lot of sense, right? Because some players are more athletically gifted than others, right? So
that's the new throwing meter.
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna have players with better awareness. You're gonna have your players with more speed, more vertical, more strength, things like that. So, yeah, see kind of what we're looking at here. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. And do you know what to explain here, other than really the throwing meter? There's the stadium pulse.
Not if they, since we don't really have the sound going. They do give you more options in terms of like audibling player routes. They give you more of like a little bit more of a customization if you're audibling a route, which there is a part in this video where they do show that.
What I was gonna say with it'll be the show is when Ed and I are playing it, like me or even Ed, but especially me, I'll freaking like dive into the fence and a foul ball, and the player will just get right back up.
He gets right back up. Yeah, no injury. There's nothing. Yeah, again, MLB The Show. Even though Z and I play that, a lot, it's a rinse repeat game. They don't touch the game.
All right, let me go back to this real quick. So now we're getting to the part where I appreciate the detail.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is kind of like a bigger screen, so it's hard to really the detail of the game, dude. Home field advantage is going to be such an important part of like right here. Like, I mean, yeah. Look at this thing.
Yeah, no. Kind of looks like you, to be honest.
Yeah, looks like me.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, so obviously, this is obviously the University of Colorado.
Right.
This is CU Boulder. So, like putting in this effort that EA has never done with their games. I mean, and it took them how long to put referees into online play?
Right.
Put a bit of effort and just actually care about like, this just the uniqueness of the college football atmosphere in the game of college football, because like each team, they all have different mascots and I mean, like you've kind of already pointed out with like Penn State. Penn State's always the most difficult place to play, or the University of Michigan. And like as long as they're just putting in effort and at the same time, as long as they're also keeping the game updated too. I mean, that's a very important thing.
Yeah.
Again, we're just kind of showing a few repetitive things. Welcome to Death Valley. I mean, that's another one where now at the same time, how many are they going to have every stadium in this game? Like for every single team?
Every team's in the game.
So even like Division 2?
No, just D1.
Just D1.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I can't wait to play in Tempe.
Notice they haven't showed a lick of ASU.
Can't wait to play at freaking Sun Devil Stadium.
Right. And I do, at least from what this trailer looks like too. I mean, Z, how many times, how many years for how bad it's been for Madden in terms of the players on the sideline, just looking like a stick. Like it's awful. At least with this, it looks like that they actually put in the detail and effort in terms of guys on the sideline celebration, right? So that's a good aspect.
We might be looking at different throwing motions here that we're looking at. Again, a lot of things are going to be pretty similar to Madden.
I have to get used to that throwing meter though.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about just interception city.
This is the flick that
there's
flick
and again.
Thing. That's that flick thing, Z, of like I said, like where you can like flick your receiver in terms of changing like direction or whatever whatever route.
Whatever that guy's doing.
Like the flick stick thing. Right, and then there's a new kicking meter. So apparently kicking's supposed to be more difficult in this game.
Oh God. I mean, and cannot hit field goals as it is already.
Yeah, I can't hit field goals in this.
No, you can't. You can't.
There it is, the MVP bundle. Pre-order it.
Yeah, absolutely not. So we're gonna stop sharing that because we don't want anybody to buy that.
Yeah. And then also like Dynasty mode is back. They haven't really done like a full breakdown of Dynasty mode in terms
Right.
of picking your college to rebuild, blah blah blah. Really, what's said about it is I think you get like 30 years in it. And to do it, think like NIL's a thing. The transfer portal is a big thing in it. Um, they do have Road to Glory, but you're just not starting off in high school. So like you can has like certain positions or whatever. It's like the career mode thing. So we'll kind of see how that breaks down.
Yeah.
But I like the details. I like the things that they're adding in this game that Madden doesn't have. I think it needs to stay that way. Madden, do we want to see Madden get back to where it needs to be? Obviously, we do. But they need to be creative. They need to kind of have their own ideas for Madden aside from college football. There is supposed to be new commentary Madden this year. Thank God. So,
God. So something else kind of point out was I do like the scoreboard on the bottom.
Yeah, the scoreboard looks good.
Yeah,
I like it's not at the top. It's on the bottom. It's
Yep.
not interfering with anything. It
Yeah,
looks clean.
Looks really clean. I mean, look, you have the college logos. You have the full name: Iowa State Cyclones, Kansas
The
Jayhawks.
color, it sticks out.
Yep, you have the color on there. Now, obviously, kind of looking at the crowd out there, looks pretty pathetic.
Looks a little empty.
Yeah, yeah, it does. But again, at the same time, maybe that's realistic. I mean, Kansas. I mean, how much of a really football school are they? Really
Right.
nothing. So, but the scoreboard, man, it looks clean, dude. It looks
Yeah,
really
it does.
clean. I mean,
It does.
But also like the thing is with freaking Madden that I hope this game doesn't do that Ed and I kind of learned about this year, dude. It was so random. Like literally one play, you'd be walking up to the line of scrimmage, and there's like 3 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah.
And, and then the next play, there's like 30 seconds on the play clock.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Oh,
The game's just overall
I mean,
messy.
yeah, I mean, Ed was fuming at that.
Yeah. Well, with Madden, I can sit and say everything needs to be done. Like we can look at Madden in terms of like franchise mode. We all know that makes everybody mad every year. Player movement, route running, defensive play calling, tackling. It's just still not where it needs to be at all.
Right.
So with college football, hopefully they've really upped their game. This game is not coming out for old gen. This is a straight new gen game. Apparently there's different teams for this game in Madden, so hopefully there's effort put into Madden 25. This is Madden 25 this year. They honestly should bring out a good freaking game. They're not going to, but I want a good Madden game, but I'm excited for college football as well. So hopefully that this can actually be the football game that we've needed. But here's the question, Z. As exciting as this game is this year, if this comes out next year and the year after that, how formulaic is it going to become?
Well, okay. First of all, that's a question to wait to be seen because we don't know if this will be a game that's out for many years, or if they'll just start doing consecutive years. I don't think we would want to see that. I don't think we would. I mean, like it'd be fine to just release the game and then just keep it updated as the next few seasons go on.
Right.
Obviously different names will pop up next season. But I mean, like, wait, what's your question? Like, do I want to see?
No. My question is, if they come out with college football every year, this game has a lot of hype this year, right? If they start coming out with it every year, how formulaic is it going to start becoming? And it's not going to be special, and it's going to be carbon copy. It's going to be lazy. It's going to be the same thing like Madden.
Sure. Well, and I think the only thing with that is, I don't know. It's a good question. It's more just how you. It's just like I can compare it to COD, dude. Like just with COD, like if you don't keep your audience and your fan base interested,
Yeah.
you're just naturally going to lose people wanting to buy the game and play the game.
Right.
Now, do I think if they release a game year after year that the hype will go down? Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. But I will say is that you can really rejuvenate this type of game that hasn't been out for who knows how many years.
Right. 100%.
For years.
Absolutely you can.
Years and years and years. Because people are gonna be there's gonna be people that don't buy the game this year because they don't want to, or they'll wait to see gameplay on it, or they'll wait to hear their friends' opinions on it.
Right.
So that I mean that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, gaming nowadays is just so different. With like people playing open world games, or like battle royale games are the biggest thing nowadays. So to bring like this kind of franchise back to the gaming culture would be huge. So I hope they hit a grand slam on it this year. I will be buying the game. There's no question about it.
Are you going to pre-order?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really think it really matters.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. And I have the digital play PS5, so we don't really need to pre-order it.
Yeah.
I think we hit everything on the money there. I mean, I was looking at some other kind of things on Twitter here that other people are posting about little details, but yeah, I mean, this is probably the only video that Ed and I will talk about in the NCAA probably until it comes out.
Yeah.
When it comes out, right there down below is where we'll be streaming it.
Or we'll be streaming it on Mythical J, Dr. J, Bald J, Controversial J.
Yeah, Controversial J.
Yeah, so but yeah, we wanted to really break it down because there's a lot of excitement with it, and news has come out with it the last couple weeks. So just kind of like what we did with Black Ops 6, we wanted to kind of transition it with NCAA. Black Ops 6, in terms of gaming, we'll continue to kind of break down and talk about on this channel as more comes out over the coming months. But Z, are you pre-ordering Black Ops 6? Are you getting the deluxe edition?
And my whole life, I've never got. I think the only time I ever got like a deluxe edition was MW3.
Yeah,
that was
you just buy the DLC if needed.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not going to be buying the deluxe edition. But I will be pre-ordering Black Ops 6. Yes.
No. What about what was the other game? No, I think those are the only two for now. What is this? Man.
Just leave you guys off with looking at one of the biggest jokes in this entire universe.
One of the biggest jokes. Somebody that Z despises. Somebody that Z doesn't take out for 10 hours.
Yeah, you're right.
Somebody who really just goes by his own rules. Z.
Yep. Selfish.
That's pretty much it.
Selfish, disrespectful.
Yep.
I mean, just so many words can be used towards this man. So
many words. But we're going to leave it on this guy, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast about 50 minutes in. And you guys enjoyed some NBA Finals talk, our breakdown on NCAA a little bit. There's a lot of things to be excited to in the gaming world coming up. And Z, to be honest with you, football's less than 2 months away.
Yep. And then you'll be saying October, you can't wait for the season end.
Yep, exactly. And we'll be right back in the cycle. So hating everything. So
yeah.
Other than that, everybody, well, thank you very much. Like I said, we'll leave you off with Barry.